Okay, so this video will be on counter trapping. Okay, and counter trapping, you know, just by definition means that in order for me to utilize it, I will have to have been trapped, or in some way I've made a mistake and this person has now gained control of my barrier, be it my first barrier or second barrier or third barrier. The idea behind this is that we have to understand how to dissolve anything that we know how to do. So even though you say, well, no one's ever going to trap my hand or whatever, well, you still want to know how to do it, and so that you can understand your own technique better. If you can really break down the technique from both points of view, you really understand it more thoroughly. So for those purposes, if nothing else, we need to learn this material. And the first video will be on stage 1 counter trapping, which means it's our first barrier. And then we'll do a series of videos on stage 2 trapping, which is our second barrier. Now, on the first barrier, it can be what we call pak sao, or it can be lop sao, okay? And we're going to functionalize this. We're just going to start really simply from what we call the training bridge. We're going to use the training bridge for purposes of this video so you can see the technique very plainly and simply and learn how to do it. It will not be executed in this manner because you're going to be some movement. So it's not going to come out exactly like it does in this video because you're not going to fight somebody from a training bridge. That being said, just take a look at these techniques that we do, and remember they're energy based. So we're going to start off with the stage 1 trapping, and then we'll move into stage 2 trapping really smoothly, and just doing it from the training bridge, try to get you where you need to be. This will be stage 1 counter trapping, so only working the first barrier at first. Okay, so when we start off, we're assuming the engagement has been made, or this hand has defended my attack, and we'll get into the variables on the next section. When he attacks, he does what we call pak da, and he's going to strike me. So my idea here is when he strikes, to relieve the line as he attacks, instead of trying to block that, I just let him have that line and strike. That's what we call tanda. So when he does pak da, I do tanda. Really simple, okay? So now I'll do pak da to him, right? That's the line I'm going to attack, and he will defend it just by taunting out. But he's yielding the line ever so slightly. It might not be visible on the video, but as I pak, he just yields the line. That's what we call tanda. So we're using this square here so that you can see we're cutting off the angle. So as he enters in with pak, I just taunt out. But really, I'm not imposing on this line because this opens my center line up. What I'm doing is yielding the line and then closing the center line off. So it's really difficult for him to come in underneath my center line. I have the option to strike immediately and then follow up with his head coming right toward my fist. So as I pak this and I enter and he taunts, see, I really am coming forward and my two hands end up crossed.